Major Lisa Laurie, U.S. Army, certified instructor in aerobics, yoga, and Pilates.
And we're here to get you fit for duty!
A show by the military, for the military, and for anyone else who wants a hardcore workout. Prepare to sweat.
Hi, welcome to the Pentagon Channel's Fit for Duty. Today's workout is yoga for runners. This mind-body, flexibility-based routine incorporates a series of yoga poses woven through breath, focused specifically on the quadriceps, hip flexors, and hamstrings, muscles that play a vital role in optimum running performance. So take off your shoes, grab a mat, and we'll begin in mountain pose. Turning to the side, let's go ahead and bring the feet together, standing somewhere near the front of your mat. Feet nice and close together, spaced directly under the hips. Draw the shoulders back, lifting the abdomen. Let's just take a few moments to focus on our breath. Breathing in deeply through the nose, we allow the chest and abdomen to expand outward with air. Exhaling, drawing the belly in, pushing the air inward and upward, moving it out back through the nasal passages. Shutting out all distraction, taking a moment to take a mental inventory of your body's systems. Allowing each breath to roll through the body, taking with it all tension, distraction, and expectations. As we inhale, let's begin to draw our arms overhead, palms directly upward. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, leading with the breastbone forward as we fold to the ground, resting the hands lightly to the mat. Now, if you can't touch the floor, go ahead and rest the hands on your shins or your thighs, or take a look at Casey. He's using some blocks to help support his weight, bringing the floor up to him. Inhale, coming halfway up and straightening the spine. Exhaling and folding. Inhaling and rolling all the way up, bringing the arms once again overhead as they come into prayer, and release to the chest. Drawing the arms down to the waist. Inhale, expanding the arms outward. Exhale and hinge from the hips, swan diving forward into a fold. Inhaling, coming halfway up. Exhaling and folding. Inhaling, rolling all the way up, bringing those arms up overhead, and exhaling to prayer. We'll do this one more time. Inhaling up, exhaling into our fold. Inhaling halfway up, lengthen the spine, feeling that sensation of stretch along the hamstrings and calves. Exhale and fold. Inhale all the way up. We're fusing the breath with the movement of the body. Exhale to prayer, developing that mind-body connection. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Let's add on just a little bit more. Step your right leg back into a low lunge. Now, as we move that right leg back, you'd like your knee directly over your heel, creating a 90-degree angle. Take a quick peek down at your foot. You should be able to see at least the tips of your toes. If your foot is obscured by the knee, that's a sign you're probably a little bit too far forward. Taking a look at Casey, he's got his hands on the floor for this one, but he also could use the option of using the blocks if he's not quite reaching the ground. Now I'd like you to take that right knee, lower it into the mat. Touching that knee lightly to the ground, tucking the tailbone under, you feel a sensation of stretch in the hip flexor. Inhale, lift the knee up, pulling that knee into the quadricep muscle. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, lifting up again. Exhale, drop the knee, resting the top of the right foot to the mat. Peel the chest away from the thigh and bring the arms overhead to half warrior. Holding here for a few cycles of breath. As you tuck the tailbone under, you should notice a deep, intense stretch right there through the hip on the right side. How does that feel, Doris? Great. Not forcing the stretch, but just gently embracing the movement, letting that hip open up. Now let's lower the arms to the ground. Shifting our weight back, keeping an extended left leg. Shift back into that right foot, keeping the buttocks lifted, the left leg extended. If you'd like to take this a little deeper, walk those hands a little further over the leg. And you should be feeling that sensation of stretch in the hamstring of that left extended leg. Now let's shift our weight forward, coming back to that lunge, curling the right toes under, lift the knee away from the ground, pushing into the ground with the hands, step the left foot back into a modification of downward facing dog with your knees bent. Slowly lower the left heel into the mat, straightening the left knee, keeping that right foot grounded, keeping it back. Now shift sides, dropping the right heel into the mat, bending the left knee. So we're awakening the calf and Achilles. Shift to the other side. Now in a slow bicycling motion, just move your knees back and forth. Just like you're walking up a flight of stairs or pedaling a bicycle. Take a little time on each side and embrace that sensation of stretch, really opening up the calf and Achilles. If you are able to, take a look at Steve as he rolls his heels back into the mat, into downward facing dog. Can you do that for me, Steve? And there we go. You'd like to keep a nice straight spine, pushing the chest inward, drawing it through the arms. Wonderful. If this is not quite for you, just continue that bicycling movement. Now let's step the right leg forward, creating that 90-degree angle once again. As we slide the left leg in slightly, rotating the toes out to 2 o'clock on a clock. Using your arm for support, walk yourself up into a standing position and bring the arms overhead into Warrior One. Holding that lifted position, keeping the hips parallel to one another. If you find that left hip kind of spirals backward, maybe take a little bit narrower stance, shimmying that back leg in a bit. Warrior pose is a powerful pose. It's strength building. It's also an amazing hip opener. It builds quadricep and hamstring strength as well. How are we doing? Wonderful. Let's keep that up there. You can choose to arch the back a little bit more by lifting the breastbone. Now releasing the arms, pushing into this right foot. Lift the left knee up to hip level. Just a little bit of balance. Balance is very important. It teaches you how to self-correct if you're about to fall, which helps minimize injury. And it also creates core strength. Now let's lower that left leg to the floor. Repeating that on the other side. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale and hinge forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and hinge. Left leg stepping back as we come into that low lunge on the other side. The right knee directly over the heel. Take a quick peek at your form. You should have the top of your foot visible. Push a little bit back into the ball of the left foot and lift the kneecap into the thigh muscle to activate the quadricep. Now let's lower that left knee into the mat. Exhale and bring it up. And again, the knee drops to the mat. Exhale and lift. Now our last one, the knee rests to the floor. The left top of the foot touches the mat as we peel our chest up into half warrior once again, tucking that tailbone under, pushing the pelvis forward, opening up that hip. The hip flexors do play an important role in running, so you should really take care to develop that flexibility. In our lives, we don't do a lot of lateral activities. So over time, you're going to find that your hips start getting a little tighter. That range of motion gets a little bit smaller and smaller over the years. And by the time you're in your 80s, you're stuck in a walker, and nobody wants that. Now let's lower those hands to the floor and begin shifting our weight back as we pull the stretch into that hamstring, leaning out over that leg, keeping the buttocks lifted. Try not to sit into the heel, so that's going to hyperextend that knee joint, and over time, it'll create injury. Lengthening the torso over the thigh as if you were trying to pull the tip of your rib cage over your knee. Shifting your weight forward, lifting the knee up, stepping the right foot back, returning to downward facing dog. Remembering you can take the modification, keeping that bicycling movement, or you can roll into a full downward facing dog. It's not quite a push-up. You want the buttocks nice and high in the air. So Casey, you're looking good, but I'd like you to shimmy your feet a little bit closer in. Walking them in, bringing them even. Take that left leg and lift the buttocks way into the air. Don't be shy. You're among friends. It's okay. Continue holding. Continue holding. Really opening up the back of the legs. Now how about we step that left foot forward. Sliding the right foot in, peeling the chest up, moving into Warrior One, and just holding here. Now we're going to continue holding this pose through the break. Tucking that tailbone under. Great. And you keep doing it at home. When we get back, we'll continue with a few more yoga poses from the seated position. Great. Hips forward. Hi, welcome back to Fit for Duty, Yoga for Runners. We're starting off this session in the seated pose, easy pose as it's known in yoga. Crossing your legs, right in front of left. Let's take a big breath in, bringing those arms up overhead. Exhale, dropping the left arm to the floor, gently leaning to the right, feeling that sensation of stretch through the side body. Trying not to push into the ground, but allowing your rib cage to lift naturally into the air. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, dropping the right arm, pushing into the left side of the sit bones. Inhale up, exhale down. So we're just gently moving laterally from right to left, awakening the rib cage, awakening the obliques, the transverse abdominals. The core plays an important part in running, keeping our chest upright, supporting the back. So it's important that we incorporate a little back flexibility into our yoga. Inhale up, and then exhale, bringing those palms down to the ground. Taking the right hand, I'd like you to bring it over the left thigh. Inhale, lifting that left arm skyward, and as we exhale, rotating the left shoulder back and resting the left arm behind you on the ground. Now, as you hold this gentle spinal twist, I want you to think of leading the twist with your belly button or your navel, not really with your chin, nose, or forehead. Everybody's individual spinal flexibility will vary. Some people will have a lot of rotation, and some people maybe a little bit less. Taking this left arm, bringing it into the air, I'd like you to lean over the right knee as we're extending that side body once again, gazing under the left tricep upward. And release. Dropping the left arm over the right thigh. Inhale, bringing the right arm upward, lengthening the side, and exhaling and rotating into the twist, resting the hand lightly behind you. If you'd like, you can use this left arm as leverage by pushing a little bit more on the thigh, taking that twist just a little bit deeper. How does that feel? Feels good, releasing all that tension in the back. Spinal twists not only develop flexibility, but they also assist in releasing toxins from the body, sort of like when you have a garden hose and you twist it shut, and then when you unwind it, all the water rushes through, freeing up the gunk that's clogged inside. Lift that right hand off the ground and lean the left shoulder over the knee. Drawing that right shoulder back just an inch or two more as we feel that extension in the body. And release. Extending the right leg out. Let's go ahead and face to the right. Squaring the hips off over the right leg. Flexing the foot. Now, if you're a little tight in the hamstrings, watch Casey as he grabs a towel. Taking that towel, bring it around the ball of your foot. For everyone else, take a big breath in, lifting the chest up. And as you exhale, leading with the breastbone, we begin to fold forward over that leg. Now, maybe for today, you only hold that at your shin level. Or perhaps you walk the hands down to the ankle. If you're a little bit more flexible, like Steve, you can walk those hands all the way out. Taking a look at Casey, he's got the towel helping him along. Now, always remember, if you are using a prop to assist you in yoga, you don't want to overdo it. You want to use that extension just to the point of gentle tension, not extreme pain. If you find any point where your leg shakes a little bit, that's a sign that you've passed that point that's comfortable for you. Now, inhale, lifting the chest up just a little bit, and we exhale, and we take it just an inch or two further. Wonderful. Now, lifting the chest up, I'd like you to grab the left foot and cradle the calf in your arms as if you were holding a baby. Now, bring that leg across the midline of your body and just rock back and forth. This is called rocking the baby and sometimes known as watering lotus pose. It's designed to open up that outer thigh and hip area. If you're a little bit more flexible, you may want to reach under the leg and pull that leg up even a little higher as they look at me like I'm insane. There are people who can do this. And now take the leg and put it over your head. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. All righty. Now let's guide this left foot down to the thigh or all the way up into the hip. Taking the left knee, I'd like you to draw it down into the mat. Now notice as you draw that knee downward, you're getting a little bit deeper stretch right there in the hip area again. If you'd like, walk those hands out and hinge over the extended leg. Another variation of head to knee pose. And let's lift that up. Taking that left foot, removing it from your thigh, resting it on the ground. Taking the right arm, bringing it around that left shin. Give me another twist as we look over that left shoulder. With each cycle of breath, we take that twist an inch or two deeper, releasing tension, and back to center. Let's take that left leg now, extending it outward. Taking the right leg, sliding it into your groin area, finding your sit bones and inhaling upward, exhaling and folding over the leg or grabbing your towel and using that towel to edge yourself forward into the fold. Now you should feel no back tension in this folded position. If you feel a little twinge in your lower back, that means that you're leading more with your forehead and head. So you want to release out of the pose, maybe grab a prop for yourself. Inhale up slightly, exhale and fold. Great. Continue to hold. Think of drawing the knee not only downward, but a little bit upward into the thigh. So we're creating a lot of length out of the hips. Inhale, lifting the chest up. And let's go to rocking the baby, cradling that right leg in your hand. Now we repeat everything the same on the right and left, just for a sense of balance in the body. Each side gets equal attention. All right, let's guide this right foot down to the thigh or wedging the foot all the way up into the hip socket. and drawing that right knee into the floor. You can choose to push just a little bit, but don't force it, and certainly don't push onto your knee joint. You want to touch a little above the knee or below the knee on the calf. Rolling that left foot skyward just a little bit, keeping the knee oriented parallel to the ceiling. Whenever you like, you can roll over that extended leg, feeling a deep sensation of stretching that hamstring once again. Breathing and releasing, appreciating that stretch. And lifting the chest up, let's drop that right foot to the floor. Hugging the leg in tight to the chest, wrapping the left arm around your body, drawing that right shoulder backward. So you find a nice straight line. Both hips are grounded. If you find that when you do these twists, you have one side that kind of pops a little in the air, just due to a little tightness in the hip, you may want to think of taking a small book or a block and sliding it under that gap between your buttocks and the floor. Returning to center, let's walk both feet in as we move into a little bit more core conditioning for boat pose. Sliding the hands under the thighs, drawing the shoulders back and dropping the rib cage toward the hip bones. We lift our feet off the ground and hold here. Now maybe you'll choose to stay here, or you can extend the arms out, taking a full boat pose. There are quite a few modifications. You can rest your hands behind you if you like. Go ahead and show them that, Casey. And now let's lower those feet to the floor as we slowly roll back, hugging the knees to the chest, preparing for just a little bit of relaxation, drawing that attention once again inward, walking the feet out one at a time. And we'll just take a few moments to focus on our breath. As we move through the break, I encourage you to come back with us as we give you some tips on how to train smart and stay strong. Breathing gently. I'd like to thank Bowling Air Force Base and my amazing fitness team, and you return to us next time as we get you fit for duty.